we're going to up here and throw it out there. What do you crave? What do you crave? Let's throw that one out there. What do you crave? Is it salty or sweet? Throwing it out there. What do you crave? Let's do yellow. How are you? What do you crave? And what's happening in your body when you give in to that? What is that craving, right? What is that craving that you're dealing with? Guys, I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Hope you're doing good. This is kind of ahead of our, we're going to be doing our sugar challenge, sugar detox coming up here. So I want to throw this out there. It should be showing up right there. Good morning. Welcome in. I'm Coach Ken. I'm in Anchorage, Alaska. Hope you're having an awesome day today. What do you crave? What is it? I can tell you for me, the one that I crave is this one right here, Skittles. I looked this up. This is like one of the worst things that you could ever possibly eat. I mean, it's just crazy, right? That we would consume this the way we do. All of the things, anything in a bag, in a box, and a bottle with a barcode is such an issue that we're dealing with, guys. I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. Welcome in this morning. Hope you're having an awesome day as the day is getting going. What is it that you are craving? What's the crave that you have today that you are dealing with? Like I said, for me, it's Skittles. I got to where I snack on popcorn. It's been my go-to is, and I have my own little recipe for popcorn now. What nobody really explained to me was what was happening in our bodies. Every time I was eating, because of those cravings, many times I would lose out to the food that I was. I mean, it was like the food noise was so much. The food noise was so much. How many of y'all have dealt with food noise? If you know what I'm talking about, when I talk about food noise, I'm talking about those cravings that you get all the time. Your gut is like, man, I gotta have that. You're just, and you eat your meal, and as soon as you're done, you're thinking about what you're gonna do next. You're thinking about what comes next. After I eat this, what do I do next? What am I going to do next? And it's like, wow, okay, what should I do next? Well, learn to eat correctly, right? And when I say that, we're not dieting. I think that's the worst thing that we can do. And we're not talking about eat less, move more. You know, that is the worst advice that anybody could give. Anybody in the history of the world. Do you want to get to a calorie restriction? If losing weight is a goal that you have, you're going to do that. But there's some simple things that you can do that would change every single bit of that. Guys, I'm Coach Ken. I'm up here in Anchorage, Alaska. Hope you're having an awesome day as we kind of tackle this and start to think about what can you do as we do a sugar detox. Now, you know, we did a video yesterday, so you can see that up on our site with me and Dr. G, where we talked about the sugar detox, kind of that first couple of days. I've got a video that is coming out around 1 o'clock that's going to go into the whole journey of what happens when you detox from sugar. Because many times what we don't realize is what we eat and how we eat really and truly right here is so important. Let's see if I've got the picture of our new, I wanted to do this with our new food pyramid. I thought I had it on here. Yeah, if you haven't seen this, it's good to look at and make note of that when our new food pyramid that we have right here helps to address this a whole lot. What are you craving? And the fact of the matter is, when we are sitting here craving the things down here at the bottom, you know what? That is what is causing so many more problems is our blood sugar spikes and our insulin increases with those simple carbohydrates. And we crave more and more of it because it disrupts our insulin and our GLP-1, all those peptides, all of those hormones in our body. And so making some simple changes, the one thing look, if you're dealing with the food cravings, here's one thing I know it's going to make y'all go nuts. Say, oh no, I can't give that up. You want to change something with your blood sugar levels? Stop the orange juice. Stop juices in general, but orange juice, apple juice, quit. Just stop right out of the gate. Here's what's happening. When we do that, we've broken down the fiber, and fiber is the part of the carbohydrates, is in the carbs that controls blood sugar levels. Oh, we got salty in there. All right, good deal, good deal. Thank you so much. Yes, salty. I love my popcorn. I love my popcorn. I'm Coach Ken up in Anchorage, Alaska. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing awesome this morning. I'm doing right now. I'm drinking my tea. All right, and going through. This is typically I don't eat breakfast anymore. So as we get ready to do this sugar detox, it's learning to look for these things that we've got to change, right? Sarah, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Where are y'all coming from? I'm Coach Ken. I'm up in Anchorage, Alaska. And today we're talking a little bit about cravings, food noise, and getting ready for doing our 14-day sugar detox coming up. And just some simple tips today to kind of help with that. So if you're at a place that you're trying to say, man, I need to address this, you know what, January, my New Year's resolution didn't go so good in January, and you're like, damn, I didn't lose the weight that I wanted to. I really didn't get the pattern. It's all right. That's what February is for. Love yourself, right? We're going to start February 1, go to February 14th, and Dr. G and I are going to be here. If you just type sugar in the comments and make sure you subscribe to our channel, that'll be a perfect thing to do. We want you in our Facebook group, and we'll get started, but I'll be here coaching every single day. So start to think about this, what we're craving all the time, because simple carbohydrates, even if you like salty, it's understanding that, is it Doritos? Is Doritos, right? Or is it Cheetos? What's that salty that you're craving? Is it chips of some kind? Every single one of those, that in the mouth, the saliva breaks down carbohydrates into glucose. That spikes the blood sugar, that increases insulin. When insulin increases, your fat cells go, and when insulin is low, the fat will go down. They shrinks right back down. That's how our hormones work. It's as simple as it gets. And that's what our gut microbiome is trying to get us to, is to that place where we are in homeostasis. Now, the way we do that is changing the order that we eat. Fiber, fats, and proteins. That simple order. Let me show y'all something crazy. Guess what? The Ohio State, let's see if I can find the article real quick. All right. The Ohio State did this. Thank you so much. Jesus Christ, I appreciate that. Thank you. So the Ohio State, among others, and quite a few as a matter of fact, if we eat in a particular order, if we eat veggies first, then protein, and carbs last, that's meal sequencing. Now, here's the crazy part about it. What is the CDC? Now, this is considered an epidemic, all right? Obesity, diabetes. Fiber is the carb that helps manage diabetes. So simply making sure that we have good fibers helps to control our diabetes or blood sugar spikes, however you want to look at it. And if you're trying to deal with this, you're trying to lose weight, if you'll focus on eating in the correct meal order, you don't have to do calorie restriction. If you eat till you're full and eat 2 meals a day, you don't have to do a calorie restriction. You don't have to restrict anything. You just change the order that you eat. And you get into a better relationship with food. That's what we really want to do. When I was diagnosed, let's see, give me just a second. When I was diagnosed up here with diabetes, this was the eye opener for me. This was the game changer for me and Dr. G. And give me just a second when the green screen will let me pull everything up. When we had to address this, because it's a very much a medical issue. We've got to do something with this. We've got to change some things. Right? That was key, was to change the order we eat. That's what Dr. G and I did. And we used a protocol that went right along with that. And it saved our lives. As I always tell people, I listen to my wife and I saved my life. If you're on here enough, I listened to my wife and it saved my life. When those cravings come, I have a secret weapon that I use. And it's knowing the food. It's knowing what is in the food that helps. That secret weapon is something called chlorogenic acid. It exists in coffee, it exists in green teas, it exists in yerba mate. I drink yerba mate. I actually drink an yerba mate called Unimate. All right, I drink this every single day. I'm drinking it right now, not just for the energy, but for that food craving. So I know that every time I eat, all right, my body is spiking um, in the way that we currently eat. Whoa, I can't show that. It's not letting me show that. Um, but every time we eat, our blood sugar spikes and our insulin increases. So we get on this roller coaster that we eat and our insulin goes up. We eat and the insulin has to try to push it down. That I think that's a good explanation, right? When we consume, our blood sugar increases and our insulin increases. What we want to do is we want to bring that insulin levels down. We bring that insulin level down, we help to knock out the food cravings. All of that sugar is disrupting our pathways in our body. We're not eating correctly. We're causing huge problems. Um, so I drink the tea and the fiber. I drink Unimate every single day. I'm sipping on it right now. All right. That's knocking out my food cravings. Then I make sure that I get fiber in my diet. Now, that's more now it's all veggies related too. There's veggies and fruit that we can definitely eat, and I talk about that. But as we're trying to get blood sugar levels under control, here's the thing about what Unimate does. Unimate and Balance actually have been shown, because of the chlorogenic acid, because of the fiber, the blends that these are, they've been shown at the Cleveland Clinic, the University of Sydney, all to help with that. Hey, MWDIS, Moody's, is that? I don't know how to pronounce that. All right. So I'm going to jump off my green screen here for a second. We're going to get that off. Just to get an idea. So what's happening in our bodies, what we want to deal with is understanding what happens when we're eating those carbohydrates. So if you're coming in right here, this is the thing that I was talking about. So when we eat the carbohydrates in our standard way of eating, right? Our standard way of eating, we start with those carbs. That's what's going to lead to the pancreas spiking insulin and elevating your insulin levels. But when we change how we eat, and we just change that order to eating fibers, proteins, and healthy fats and carbs first, in your small intestines, your body is going to make GLP-1. How many of y'all have heard of GLP-1? Thank you so much, Moody's. I appreciate that. How many of y'all, if you've heard of GLP-1, type yes. If you've never heard of GLP-1, type no. All right. That GLP-1, all right, is what tells the brain that you're full. But here's the problem. That insulin, right, disrupts the pathways. So the response of GLP-1 is weakened. And what the doctors often don't explain is your body makes GLP-1. Moody's did, and that's something I don't know if you are aware of that. I always like to ask the question, as I get to know people. So many people, probably 3/4 of the people that come on my lives have never had a doctor explain to them that their body makes GLP-1. Everybody is convinced, and now people talk about GLP-3. Are you on a GLP-3? GLP-3 doesn't even exist in the human body. It's like they think like adding a number to it. Before long, we're going to have a GLP-25. I mean, come on. And really, you're going to make crap up now? And it's just like the fact that I do a fiber, the balanced fiber. This is a blend of 7 different soluble and insoluble fibers. These are all fibers that we actually eat. Psyllium husk, here's a piece of trivia that's not trivia, it's a fact. We've never eaten psyllium husk in the history of humanity. So Metamucil, so when a doctor says drink Metamucil, they're telling you to drink something we've never done before. But this is in the provider's digital reference. When I say my wife, Dr. G, I listened to my wife and it saved my life. She put me on it, got me started on a fiber that's actually that you can prescribe. I mean, a doctor can recommend Metamucil. They can actually prescribe this. It's in the provider's digital reference. Metamucil's not even in there. The very book that you and I can look up all of the interactions and the side effects of medications. Huge. So when we're fighting those food cravings, it's learning what we can do to help that. The first thing is if we eat those meals and we eat till we're full, we're not eating all day. Every time you eat a snack, every time you listen to that advice, your body has an insulin response. And when insulin is present, I always say this, when insulin is high, the fat on our bodies will defy. You cannot burn it. When insulin is low, the fat will go. When insulin comes low, the fat will go. We got to get it out there. We got to get it out of there. That right there is the biggest thing that's hampering our food cravings. We've got to stop eating all the time. Here's what I was going to share just a minute ago too. When we do intermittent fasting, when we go, all right, we actually are lowering the insulin levels greater than when we're doing calorie restriction. Insulin levels come lower than when calorie restriction. So you're going to put yourself into a calorie deficit, but you're going to feel fuller than you ever have before. Because when you eat fiber, fats, and proteins, you fill up until you're full. You don't need to eat anymore. You don't have the cravings because you're feeding your gut. So your GLP-1 is acting. All right. And it's going to continue because the digestion is slower as it's going through the digestive process. All right. The tea is a bronchial dilator as well. And this is what I drink to knock out my food cravings all the time. It's what I'm doing this morning. Right now, if you've been on here, you've seen me. I'm drinking this tea right here. I'm almost done. This is actually from yesterday. You can drink the tea hot or cold. You can drink that tea hot or cold. Your GLP-1 is going to increase. It's going to fight those food cravings all day long. All right. In addition to that, it's going to give you energy through the course of the day, make you feel great. Right. I like the way that it's called the Feel Great system because it goes hand in hand with a fiber. Now, this has all been studied. It's in the provider's digital reference, the very same place that your doctor goes to write prescription drugs. So if you wanted to learn more about this and your own medications, right here, the pdr.net, this is the website, the one that my wife uses, that doctors use. All right, it's available to every single one of us. And the tea and the fiber protocol are right there. So when you use it, the great part about it, it's so simple. It's just in these packets. You don't have to brew anything. You, like I said, you can drink it hot, you can drink it cold, you can drink it warm. Any way, shape, or form that you would like to, really, you can drink it. Whatever works for you, as far as that goes. And it is one of those things that makes those food cravings, dealing with those food cravings, so much easier. When we were struggling with this, all right, and diagnosed dealing with being overweight and obese, we started the protocol. When Dr. G started it, she talked to a friend that was a nurse and a diabetes educator that told her that this protocol existed. Her doctor didn't even give it as an option. The doctor could have, but the doctor didn't. So she started drinking the tea and the fiber. We went on vacation. Dr. G was drinking, had a bottle like this one, which you get when you order the protocol, when you start coaching with us. All right, you get the tea and the fiber. And she started drinking it. Within the first couple weeks, her neuropathy and fibromyalgia stopped. She started to have more energy. All right, her food cravings went away. 4 months later, I listened to my wife and I started doing the same thing. So you can see the difference right there. You can see what happens when you start on a protocol that actually works, right, to help. And the blood work shows it. Because I was able to reverse my high blood pressure, my diabetes, all my blood work came back down. My migraine stopped. I stopped snoring. My acid reflux has improved tremendously by using this protocol. As a testicular cancer survivor, all right, this is so important for my testosterone levels. Complete game changer. My gout, don't deal with it anymore. The neuropathy in my feet is gone. The tea and the fiber, I attribute to every bit of it, making it easier. I don't have to take a bunch of vitamins every day. I drink the tea and I drink the fiber. That's been the easiest thing. So what can you do to get it? How do you order? All right. If you'll go right here, this will take you to my link tree. If you go to kenhagler.com, or you can message me. Maybe you have more questions at our WhatsApp. There's also links on our webpage. right? When you order the protocol, you get us as coaches. Dr. G and I are there as coaches to help with you. All right. You're dealing with those food cravings. You're sick and tired of it, right? Struggling with it every single day. You're tired of it yelling at you. You're tired of how it makes you feel. I get it. I've been there. I'm still there. That's why I continue to drink the tea and the fiber, because without it, I'd be going back down that same road, and I don't want to go down that road. And I don't want you to have to go down that road if you don't want to, because this is about you, not about me. I want you to be the hero of your story. It's why I coach. It's why I help people. It's why I have the people that are clients that I work with. It's why I make these videos, is to give you the best information that's out there. Information that I just did a great. There's a Unfiltered is my new show that we're doing here live. We had Dr. G and Carolyn Bird, who's a nurse, talking about this protocol. I don't know what to say. It's the best decision I ever made. So you get my referral code. It is comes to about $154 a month. So about $5 a day, less than a soda and a Reese's peanut butter cup that you're spending on anyway. And it has been a complete game changer. So you wind up saving money. We don't put out near as much trash as we did to the street anymore. The food cravings are gone. My blood works better. And if it's not for you, who is it for? If it's not for you, who do you know that is dealing with these issues? You're dealing with those food cravings and you're tired of them, and you're going, it's contributing to you dealing with the chronic diseases. This is a solution for it. When you eat until you're full at your meals, you're not going to be hungry all the time to even want the cravings. That's a key part of this. Drinking the tea helps to be sure that during the course of the time those cravings are knocked down while you're in those periods of fasting. When you have fiber, it slows the digestion down. So even if you go have pizza, even if you go to McDonald's, you just make sure to have the fiber with you, and it makes all the difference in the world. So if you go over here, if you go to kenhagler.com, that'll take you to my link tree, and there's the how to order the tea and the fiber to get started. Once I get a message, I'll reach out to you, and we'll get started on the coaching. We have sugar detox starting on February 1. So we've got a whole plan. Over here at the link tree and on our page is the link to our Facebook group. So if you're interested in being a part of the sugar detox, we have a whole sheet to download that will be a guideline for you to use during the sugar detox. So whatever it is that you're trying to fight, we got even score right there, salty and sweet, everybody coming in. So what questions do you have? Is there anything that you'd like to know more about, that you've listened to, you've been here? Well, I appreciate y'all being here. This recording will be up on my webpage, so you can come back and check it out when you got time. We will actually have posted. We did an interview this week as well that's on a podcast, so that'll be up as on our pages as well. So, thanks so much for being here. Go get the day, make it golden. Go be excellent to one another, and go be excellent to yourself. We'll see you back around on the flip side. Make sure if you didn't subscribe, go jump up and do that so you can get all the great information that we have for you to help you as you're seeking to make life better. All right. Have a great one.